to another edition of the Unscripted 101 podcast. DJ Briscoe, I'm your host, representing Beat Fact Music. Today I'm going to talk about one of the playoff games yesterday. It was very intriguing. I'm also going to talk about the development of some of the young and upcoming teams in the NBA and which direction I feel each team is going. So let me start with the podcast and why I do it, because I think people need to know why I do this. I think first and foremost, I have to thank my feet. Let me clear my throat here. Sorry, folks. First and foremost, I need to thank my fiance. She's the one that discovered this platform for me to use, which is, of course, Spotify, all the other stuff to it. She was the one that kind of pushed me and told me I need to get off my lazy butt. And of course, I had some of my other boys, a couple of my friends that I grew up with, one of my college boys who also were like, come on, man, you like to talk sports, you need to do this. So shout out to these guys. They know who they are, but the wife especially, the fiance especially, she's the one that really is like, come on, man, do something. You need to do something. So why do I do this? Because I love to talk sports. It's something I like to do. It's refreshing. It's something that I'm also involved in very deeply. So, and for those of you that are out there that are thinking about it and listening to your friends or looking for approval or going on social media and being dejected because you might see a podcast and you see all the negative comments, don't pay attention to that. Go out and do it. Try it. See how you feel. Enjoy it. Make it impactful. Make it useful. Impact other people around you. Because when you start doing things in life that are impactful, are great, something that you like to do, people are going to fall off. It's natural. It's like a tree with leaves. The leaves are going to fall off, So that's just the way to do it. That's the way to live life. You got to pivot yourself into different directions, find new avenues, do new things, whether it's new job, traveling the world, becoming a coach, mentoring, starting your own business. You got to take chances. You got to take risk. They're the greatest things because you learn from them. You can't live in a bubble and succeed. It's impossible. So go out there, enjoy what you're doing, express yourself, and let people know that this is what you're doing. But again, you're not looking for approval. You're going out there and doing what you need to do. If you get support, absolutely fantastic. If you don't, who cares? Keep going. Keep going. That road is there for you to travel and to succeed, and you need to continue to do that. So go out there and make it happen. There's a special thing there for you. And I'm not saying the ending because it never ends, but there's something special during that journey that will enlighten you and enhance your skills and enhance your mindset and enhance everything that you want to do with whatever you want to do. So keep going and keep doing what you're doing. So don't doubt yourself either. We're living in a time where mental illness is crazy. People are going out of their way to, try to deter you. That's okay. That's okay. Let them waste their time trying to do it. You utilize your time trying to be great. So now that was my almost 4 minutes of why I do this and my little motivational speech. Shout out to the fiance again. But today we're gonna talk about that game last night between Phoenix and Denver, which now has Phoenix down 2-0. It was a very interesting game. Like it was a game of runs, but also what really was interesting was Nikola Jokic and what he did on the court. I mean, played 41 minutes, was 17 for 30, only 2 for 6 from the 3-point line, but he had 16 rebounds, he had 2 blocks, 5 assists. Usually he has 10. I mean, he was only a +2 on the court, but he had 39 points. And people say, this guy doesn't do anything on the court. He's slow. He doesn't move. He's always just kind of lax. He just plays slow. But fundamentally sound, this guy is absolutely amazing to watch. People say it's boring. It's like watching San Antonio. There's no such thing as boring basketball. Winning basketball. When somebody is playing basketball a certain way and they're winning, I don't care who you are, you're going to cheer for them. You're going to enjoy it. You're not going to look at the skill set, the mechanics. You're going to look at the fact that he's making baskets and he's putting the team in a fantastic position to win games. And that's what he did last night. I mean, Jamal Murray was only 3 for 15 and played 39 minutes. Was 0 for 9 from the three-point line. 0 for 9. So, I mean, come on, let's look at it. Aaron Gordon was fantastic. He did what he had to do. Was 5 for 8. Gave the team 16 points. Denver only played 3 guys off the bench. They only had 3 guys come off the bench for them. Uncle Jeff, Mr. Brown, and Mr. Braun. And they took a combined 10 shots. 10 shots. 4 for 10. That was the bench production yesterday. That was Denver's bench. For a grand total of 13 points. And they still won the game. Where Phoenix played 6 guys off the bench. And they had a combined 4 points. 4 points, folks. 4 points off the bench for the Phoenix bench. So, it's a tale of two stories. Booker was fantastic, was 14 for 29, had his 35 points in 45 minutes. Durant was 10 for 27, had his 44 minutes, of course, as usual. Was only 2 for 12 from the three-point line. Maybe if he made half, maybe the game would be different. Chris Paul, 4 for 10, played 25 minutes, plus 8. 8 points, but he got hurt. And this is the tale of Chris Paul's career. I mean, he's getting hurt. I think he's 38 years old, about to be 39 in the month of May, which is a great month, by the way. I don't know what to say. I think Denver's going to take 2 out of the 2 games in Phoenix. I think they're going to take 1 out of 2 and then come back home and potentially finish it off. But I think Durant has got one of those monster games in him that will force maybe a game 6. Devin Booker is going to do his thing, but who's going to step up and be the backup point guard? I mean, Cameron Payne is all right. He was only 1 for 7 in this game. He's all right, but I don't know. I just really don't see it right now with this Phoenix Sun basketball team. And unfortunately, they gave up a lot. They gave up a lot in that trade for Durant. They gave up 2 fantastic players in Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson. 2 guys that could probably give you 40 points combined if they're, having a good night. I mean, you look at the guys that came off the bench for Phoenix last night, they're not going to win you too much games if Booker and Durant struggle. And Ayton really he's been horrible against the MVPs. Giannis, we all know what Giannis did to him in the finals 2 years ago, and Jokic has just kind of danced around him. Ole, ole. So it's not looking good. Again, I have Denver in 6. I said it earlier. I felt that Denver's physicality and just the presence, coaching, and utilizing their basketball IQ has had them way ahead in this series mentally. So I feel Phoenix will still get a couple out of this, but I think it's going to go to 6. So tonight we got Miami, New York. We'll see if Butler's going to play. I'm a big Knicks fan. I got my Knicks winning, but don't count out Miami. Eric Spoelstra knows what he's doing. And Tibbs knows what he's doing, but it's going to be really tight. LA Golden State. I got State in 7, but this is going to be a really, really grind series. LeBron seems to be always ready for Steph for some reason. Always pulls out that little old school LeBron for that. Will AD give you 5 good games in the series if it goes, to that extent? The bench for the Lakers is solid. So, we'll see what happens, but I think things will go well. But let me get to my next topic here in this podcast. And I want to talk about 3 teams right now and the 3 different directions they're going. Sacramento, Minnesota, and Memphis. Sacramento, a tremendous job by the coaching staff, Mike Brown, who's ahead of the table, De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis and the rest of these young guys who are going to be around for a while. Hopefully they can keep that nucleus and advance. And I think they're really mature to understand that the journey has just begun. And if they stick together and if they really, work on their game, continue to master their mechanics and continue to polish their skill set, these guys are going to be right in the thick of things in the Western Conference in the next few years. So they're going to be really good. I'm looking forward to watching this revitalized Sacramento Kings team because I feel like they got a lot to offer. Minnesota, I don't know what to say. It just seems that they're always retooling. It's not management issues. It's not coaching issues. It's just what's on the court. I mean, they've had Jimmy Butler. They've had D'Angelo Russell. They've had all these guys. And it just hasn't worked. And I have not seen these guys put together a solid game all year in the last little while. It seems they always have these big leads. They blow them, just like they did last year in the playoffs against Memphis. They did it against the Lakers a few weeks ago in the play-in game. Like, they just cannot seem to focus on 40-plus minutes of basketball to take the W. And I feel like something's got to give. Now, if it's coaching, fine. But you still got to work on the product on the court. Anthony Edwards is going to be sensational. Cat's got to stay healthy. That's just the facts. Maybe moving Cat might be good. Let Anthony Edwards do what he needs to do. Let Rudy just collect rebounds and get blocks. He's not a scoring. We need to stop with this Rudy bashing. Rudy is not a scoring center. He's a poor man's version of Dikembe Mutombo. And I'm saying it respectfully because I think Rudy could do great things for a lot of teams. So, unfortunately, Minnesota gave up way too much in the Utah deal, but that's a whole different conversation. But I just hope Minnesota can get it right. I know some people feel management should be fired, but I don't think they should. I just think that they need to figure it out. And maybe this is part of the process for them. So I'm looking forward to see what Minnesota is going to do next year. Now to Memphis. This is where I'm going to finish off this podcast. Memphis, oh man, immaturity. I mean, there was an announcement today that they are not going to renew Dylan Brooks' contract, re-sign him because he's a free agent coming up in June. But as much as I understand why they made the move, it's not just him. This is a collective problem. From management to the coach to the players, and we know about John Morant and his escapades and stuff like that. They need to mature. They need to grow up. They need to understand that this is not just a job, but somebody out there wants their spot, and they need to be serious. I know these guys think they're going to be here for 15 years, and they're going to get all these all-star appearances, win all these little awards, pose up on Instagram. It doesn't work. No, that's not how you win championships. So they need to figure it out in Memphis. And I'm not saying next year. I'm saying start figuring it out now. You can get rid of Dylan Brooks. That doesn't solve the problem. So figure it out. Understand what you need to do. And pivot in a direction where you can be successful. Because nobody's waiting for you. There's another team sitting in that NBA right now that's going to be coming up next year that's going to surprise us. Sacramento surprised all of us, and it was a great surprise because it changed the dynamics, and it gave us a fresh look at the playoffs. So let's hope that Memphis could do something and put themselves in the position to compete. So, folks, that's my take on all these subjects. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. This is DJ Briscoe. This is Unscripted 101. Keep tuning into the channel. New episodes coming regularly. Have yourself a great evening. If you're out there driving, drive safe. If you're out there walking, walk safe. If you're out there in any type of crazy situation, keep your eyes and your ears open. Stay focused. Peace.